The year is 2025, a time when the echoes of the past resonate louder than ever. The Iron Curtain may have fallen decades ago, symbolizing the end of an era of division and conflict, but the chill of Cold War tensions has returned to Europe, casting a long shadow over the continent. This time the battleground isn't just ideological, it's multifaceted, involving not just nations but also non-state actors. It's a shadowy underworld of spies, assassins, and disinformation campaigns where truth is often the first casualty. Welcome to the new age of espionage, a high-tech arena where information is the most valuable currency. Here Russia and NATO are locked in a high-stakes standoff, each maneuvering for strategic advantage. Both sides are playing a dangerous game, one that involves not just military might, but also psychological warfare. This game has potentially catastrophic consequences for global security, affecting millions of lives. The stakes are higher than ever, with each move scrutinized and countered. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022 shattered any illusions of post-Cold War peace, bringing old fears back to the forefront. The West responded with unprecedented sanctions and military support for Ukraine, aiming to curb Russian aggression. However, the Kremlin has retaliated with a different kind of warfare: espionage, a silent but deadly game. This isn't your grandfather's Cold War espionage, it's more sophisticated, more insidious. Russia has dusted off the old playbook but added dangerous new tactics, blending traditional espionage with cyber warfare. Assassinations, sabotage, and cyber attacks have become commonplace, creating an atmosphere of perpetual tension. The Kremlin's goal is clear: to undermine NATO, destabilize its unity, sow discord among its members, and weaken the alliance from within. Additionally, they aim to erode support for Ukraine, making it harder for the West to maintain a united front. NATO, for its part, has been forced to respond in kind, ramping up its own intelligence and counter-espionage efforts. Intelligence agencies are working overtime to counter the Russian threat, employing every tool at their disposal. Expulsions of diplomats suspected of espionage are now routine, a clear sign of the escalating tensions. The West is engaged in a new intelligence war, one that is as complex as it is dangerous. This intelligence war will likely define the geopolitical landscape for years to come, shaping the future in ways we can only begin to imagine. Russia's espionage strategy is a toxic cocktail of old and new tactics, blending the shadows of the Cold War with the digital age's cutting-edge technologies. It combines traditional methods like human intelligence gathering, where spies meet in secret to exchange information, with cutting-edge cyber warfare and disinformation campaigns that can disrupt entire nations from behind a keyboard. The Kremlin has shown a willingness to use any means necessary to achieve its objectives, leveraging both brute force and subtle manipulation. One of Russia's most potent weapons is its vast network of intelligence operatives who are embedded in various sectors around the world. These spies, often operating undercover as diplomats, businessmen, or journalists, blend seamlessly into their environments and are adept at recruiting assets, stealing secrets, and spreading disinformation to further the Kremlin's agenda. They are the Kremlin's eyes and ears in the West, constantly gathering intelligence and monitoring potential threats. Another key element of Russia's espionage strategy is its use of targeted assassinations, a chilling reminder of the lengths they will go to silence dissent. The Kremlin has a long and bloody history of silencing its opponents, both at home and abroad, through ruthless and often public acts of violence. In recent years, there have been several high-profile cases of Russian agents targeting dissidents and defectors on foreign soil, causing international outrage. Disinformation is another powerful tool in Russia's arsenal, used to manipulate perceptions and control narratives. The Kremlin uses a network of state-controlled media outlets, social media trolls, and online propaganda channels to spread false narratives, sow discord, and undermine trust in Western institutions, creating an environment of confusion and mistrust. Their aim is to manipulate public opinion and create chaos in the information space, destabilizing societies from within. Russia's espionage activities are not limited to intelligence gathering. They extend far beyond the traditional realms of espionage, encompassing a wide array of covert operations designed to destabilize and intimidate. The Kremlin has increasingly targeted individuals and organizations deemed critical to NATO's security or supportive of Ukraine. These targets are carefully selected to maximize impact and send a clear message to the international community. These attacks are meant to send a chilling message: no one who opposes Russia is safe. The Kremlin's reach is long and its methods are ruthless, aiming to instill fear and uncertainty. One such target was Armin Bager, the CEO of Rheinmetall, a German defense contractor supplying weapons to Ukraine. Bager's company played a crucial role in bolstering Ukraine's defense capabilities. In July 2024, U.S. intelligence foiled a Russian plot to assassinate Bager. The plot was sophisticated and well-planned, involving multiple operatives and extensive surveillance. The attempt, had it succeeded, would have dealt a significant blow to NATO's efforts to arm Ukraine. It would have disrupted the supply chain and weakened the alliance's strategic position. Another victim of Russia's assassination program was Maxim Kumanov, a former Russian military pilot who defected to Ukraine in 2023. Kumanov's defection was a significant loss for Russia, and a gain for Ukraine. Kumanov, who provided valuable intelligence on Russian military operations, was assassinated in Spain in February 2024. His death was a stark reminder of the risks faced by defectors. Spanish authorities blamed the Kremlin for the killing. The investigation revealed a complex web of operatives and a meticulously planned operation. These cases highlight the brazen and ruthless nature of Russia's espionage operations. The Kremlin's willingness to engage in high-profile assassinations underscores its disregard for international norms. The Kremlin is willing to operate outside the bounds of international law and norms, targeting individuals on foreign soil with impunity. This aggressive stance poses a significant challenge to global security and stability. Faced with this escalating threat, NATO has been forced to take action. The alliance has expelled hundreds of Russian diplomats suspected of espionage and increased intelligence sharing among its members. NATO is also bolstering its defenses, particularly in Eastern Europe, to deter further Russian aggression. One of the most significant moves came in early 2024 when NATO members expelled over 600 Russian diplomats. These expulsions, coordinated across the alliance, were a major blow to Russia's intelligence-gathering capabilities in the West. In addition to expulsions, NATO is also investing heavily in intelligence gathering and analysis. The alliance is sharing intelligence more closely than ever before, pooling resources to better understand and counter the Russian threat. NATO is also working to strengthen its defenses, deploying troops and equipment to Eastern Europe to deter potential Russian aggression. The alliance is determined to send a clear message to Moscow. NATO will not be intimidated and will defend its members. Section 5. The price of treachery. The expulsion of so many intelligence operatives has come at a cost for Russia. The Kremlin is now struggling to rebuild its networks in the West. Recruiting and training new spies is a costly and time-consuming process. According to intelligence estimates, the price of recruiting a single spy in Europe has skyrocketed to around $430,000. This figure reflects the increased risks and difficulties involved in operating in a more hostile environment. The Kremlin's reliance on assassination as a tool of statecraft has also created a climate of fear and distrust. Potential recruits are now more hesitant to work for Moscow, fearing for their safety and that of their families. Furthermore, Russia's aggressive actions have galvanized Western intelligence agencies. They are now more vigilant than ever in their efforts to counter Russian espionage. Section 6. Turning the tables. The CIA, along with other Western intelligence agencies, is actively working to exploit the fallout from the attempted Wagner coup against Putin in 2023. This event exposed cracks in the Russian regime and created an opportunity to recruit disaffected individuals within the Russian intelligence apparatus. The CIA is using a variety of methods to identify and target potential recruits, including targeted advertising on social media and encrypted messaging apps. They are highlighting Russian intelligence failures and offering financial rewards and safe passage to those willing to defect. These efforts are already bearing fruit. There are reports of a steady stream of low-level defectors providing valuable information to Western intelligence. While recruiting high-level assets remains a challenge, the CIA is hopeful that the pressure on the Putin regime will eventually lead to more significant defections. Section 7. Hybrid warfare, staying under the radar. Russia's espionage offensive is part of a broader strategy known as hybrid warfare. This approach combines conventional military force with unconventional tactics like cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, and economic coercion. The goal is to achieve strategic objectives without triggering a full-scale military response. One of the key tenets of hybrid warfare is to operate below the threshold of Article 5 of the NATO Treaty. This article states that an attack on one NATO member is an attack on all. By avoiding actions that would trigger Article 5, Russia hopes to avoid a direct military confrontation with NATO. This strategy has allowed Russia to pursue its interests in Ukraine and elsewhere with relative impunity. However, it has also led to a dangerous escalation in tensions between Russia and the West. Section 8. A dangerous game. The current espionage war between Russia and NATO is a dangerous game with no easy answers. Both sides are locked in a cycle of escalation, with each action prompting a counter-reaction. This tit-for-tat dynamic increases the risk of miscalculation and unintended consequences. The stakes are incredibly high. A miscalculation or accident could quickly spiral out of control, leading to a direct military confrontation between nuclear-armed powers. The consequences of such a conflict would be catastrophic. It is therefore imperative that both sides exercise restraint and seek ways to de-escalate tensions. Dialogue, however difficult, is essential to avoid a disastrous conflict. Section 9. Echoes of the Past, Shadows of the Future. The current espionage war between Russia and NATO has chilling echoes of the Cold War. Once again, the world is divided into two armed camps, suspicious and distrustful of each other. The specter of nuclear annihilation once again hangs over humanity. However, there are also significant differences between the current situation and the Cold War. The world is far more interconnected today, and the lines between war and peace are more blurred. The rise of cyber warfare and disinformation has created new battlefields and new challenges. The outcome of this new Cold War is far from certain. What is clear is that the stakes are incredibly high, and the consequences of failure would be devastating. The world is watching and waiting, hoping that cooler heads will prevail.